How you handle disrespect reveals more about your power than anything else. If disrespect still provokes you, you are easier to control than you think. Most people believe disrespect is an attack. It isn't. It's a test. People test boundaries constantly. They test emotional stability. They test how easily they can move you. The moment you react impulsively, you reveal something valuable to them. You reveal where your control ends. That reaction becomes a leash. A sarcastic remark in a meeting, a subtle insult in a conversation, a dismissive tone. Most people defend themselves immediately. They explain, argue, or raise their voice. They believe defending their pride restores respect. In reality, it signals the opposite. When someone provokes you and you react instantly, their brain registers something simple. You are predictable. Human behavior follows a basic psychological pattern. People push where they sense weakness. If pushing produces an emotional response, the brain learns the pattern. Now they know exactly how to control the interaction. Reaction gives them information. Powerful people understand something different. Disrespect is not always hostility. Often, it is measurement. People are measuring how stable you are under pressure. The first discipline is control, not suppression. Control. Instead of reacting, observe the behavior. Ask a quiet internal question. Was that intentional? Was it insecurity? Was it positioning? Observation gives you clarity. Reaction removes it. Reaction is a leash others can pull. Control cuts the leash. Powerful individuals are not difficult to insult. They are difficult to provoke. If this idea makes sense to you, write one sentence in the comments. I control my reaction. The moment you slow your reaction, the entire interaction changes. Most people fall into what can be called the reaction trap. Someone challenges them publicly. Maybe their competence is questioned or their work is criticized in front of others. The instinctive response is immediate defense. The brain wants to repair status instantly. This instinct comes from older survival systems where social rejection meant danger. But in modern environments, immediate defense creates a different signal. It reveals emotional exposure. When emotions spike, the brain temporarily shifts control away from strategic thinking. Psychologists call this emotional hijacking. The reactive brain prioritizes defense over calculation. Manipulative personalities rely on this shift. They provoke small emotional spikes because they know reaction exposes your thinking pattern. It shows what bothers you. It reveals your pressure points. Once someone understands your pressure points, control becomes easy. Powerful people respond differently. They slow the interaction. They allow silence to exist. Silence is uncomfortable for most people. When silence appears after a provocative statement, the person who spoke first begins filling the space. They start explaining, softening, or revealing intention. Silence is a blade. Reaction is exposed wire. Most people react. Strategists observe. Observation produces another advantage. It reveals the true source of disrespect. Many insults are not actually about you. They are projections. Consider a simple example. Someone downplays your achievement in conversation. Instead of acknowledging success, they say something dismissive. Most people interpret this as a personal attack. But the psychology often works differently. Humans constantly compare themselves to others. When someone's success threatens their internal status, the brain looks for ways to restore balance. One common method is minimizing the other person. That comment you heard may not be an evaluation of you. It may be a defense mechanism protecting their self-image. Powerful people treat these moments as information. They do not absorb the insult emotionally. They analyze it strategically. What insecurity produced that statement? What comparison triggered it? What does this reveal about the speaker? The mind becomes a fortress. Only useful information enters. Insults are rarely accurate assessments. They are emotional leaks. Understanding this changes the entire dynamic. When you stop personalizing every remark, you stop participating in emotional battles that never mattered. Niccolo Machiavelli observed a pattern in human behavior centuries ago. People do not judge your internal intentions. They judge what they see. He wrote that people judge more by the eye than by the hand. What they see determines how they respond. If they see emotional instability, they assume weakness. If they see calm discipline, they assume strength. Perception shapes hierarchy. Imagine someone throws a subtle insult in a group setting. One person immediately argues and defends themselves. Another responds briefly and calmly, then moves on without emotional reaction. The room interprets those two responses very differently. The first person appears affected. The second appears controlled. Respect grows around emotional discipline because people instinctively trust stability. Stability signals leadership capacity. Many people fail here because they are trying to be liked. They want approval. They want to appear agreeable and reasonable. Powerful individuals prioritize something else. Control. Control over tone. Control over timing. Control over timing. Control over reaction. Calm responses shift the psychological balance of the room. If this principle resonates with you, write another short line in the comments. Silence is power. Handling disrespect does not mean accepting everything silently. That would be weakness. The real strategy is precision. Precision requires patience. When someone undermines you once, powerful people observe. When the behavior repeats, they address it calmly. No emotional escalation. No long explanations. Clear statements work better than emotional speeches. A calm sentence delivered at the right time carries authority. Emotional reactions rarely do. Why does this work? Because controlled responses remove entertainment value. Many subtle provocations exist because they generate emotional reactions. When the reaction disappears, the motivation disappears. A controlled mind works like a fortress with guarded gates. Not everything deserves entry. Powerful people also understand timing. Immediate confrontation is rarely strategic. Observation reveals patterns. Patterns reveal intention. Once intention is clear, a precise response becomes possible. Calm responses establish boundaries without lowering your status. Loud reactions often do the opposite. The highest level of power in these situations is psychological distance. When people cannot move your emotions, they lose their primary tool of influence. Most individuals remain predictable. Praise excites them. Criticism wounds them. Silence makes them anxious. Approval motivates them. Predictability makes manipulation simple. When you become emotionally steady, the dynamic shifts. Insults lose impact. Provocations lose purpose. Manipulators search for easier targets. This is not about becoming emotionless. It is about choosing when emotion influences behavior. The disciplined mind chooses responses based on outcomes, not impulses. Over time, people notice something different. Their usual strategies stop working. Their attempts to provoke reactions fail. Conversations around you become more measured. An unreachable mind cannot be conquered. If you are building that level of discipline, subscribe to Code. This channel exists for people who want control over their thinking and their reactions. Return to the beginning for a moment. Disrespect only controls you if you react automatically. Reactive individuals spend their time defending themselves. They explain, justify, argue, and chase validation. Their emotional state moves with every comment around them. Strategic individuals operate differently. They observe first. They interpret behavior. They respond only when it serves a purpose. Control replaces impulse. Once people realize they cannot provoke you, something important changes. The psychological game ends. Write one final commitment in the comments. I stay calm under pressure. Because the moment others understand they cannot move your emotions, they stop trying. And the person who cannot be moved is the one who controls the room.